If knowing what's right was enough, you'd already be perfect. You already know what you should be doing. You should be more disciplined, more patient, more focused. You should waste less time, eat better, speak better, live better. You already know, and yet you don't do it. So my question to you is this: why doesn't truth change us? For a long time, there have been people who believe that it should. The ancient idea is simple. If you truly understand something, you'll act on it. If you really understand that something is bad for you, you'll stop. If you really understand what's good, you'll move toward it. But that idea breaks the moment you look at real life, because we all live in contradiction. You can know something is wrong and still choose it. You can know something is right and still avoid it. That means something deeper is happening. There's a gap between what you know and what you do, and it's not small. It's the gap that defines most of your life. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I know I should, but didn't. I know this is bad, but kept going. I know what the right choice is, but chose something else." That's not ignorance, that's conflict. And the deeper you look, the stranger it gets, because sometimes, the more you know, the worse the gap feels. Knowledge doesn't always empower you, sometimes it just exposes you. It shows you exactly who you should be, and exactly who you are not. So now you're left with something uncomfortable. You don't just lack knowledge, you lack alignment. And this is where most people go wrong. They think the solution is more information, more content, more advice, more learning. But if knowledge alone fixed the problem, we would already be different. So maybe the issue isn't that we don't know enough. Maybe the issue is that something in us resists what we know. That truth doesn't just inform you, it confronts you, it demands change. And that's where the tension begins. Because knowing the truth is easy, living it is something else entirely. So if knowledge isn't enough, what is actually stopping us? There's an ancient story that captures this perfectly. It's the Odyssey. Odysseus is sailing home after a long war. He's already survived battles, monsters, storms. He's clever, experienced, tested. And ahead of him is something deceptively simple. A song. Beautiful, irresistible, deadly. The sirens. Their voices are so powerful that any man who hears them loses control, steers his ship towards them, and dies. Now here's the key detail. He knows this. He knows exactly what will happen. He understands the danger. He is not ignorant. So what does he do? He doesn't rely on his willpower. He doesn't say, "I'll just make the right choice when the time comes." Instead, he has his men tie him to the mast of the ship, and he commands them, "No matter what I say, don't let me go." Because he knows something about himself. He knows that when the moment comes, when the song is in his ears, knowledge will not be enough. And sure enough, when it happens, he hears the song, and everything changes. He begs, he screams, he demands to be released. The man who knew the truth is now trying to destroy himself. That's the paradox. You can know something completely and still act against it. This isn't just mythology, this is your life. You know how distraction works. You know how habits trap you. You know what's pulling you away from who you want to be. And yet when the moment comes, you give in. Not because you didn't know, but because something stronger took over. This is the part people don't like to admit. You aren't ruled by what you know, you're ruled by what you want. And desire doesn't always listen to reason. Habit doesn't care about logic. Impulse doesn't wait for permission. So now the problem becomes clearer. The issue isn't truth, the issue is power. What actually has more control over you? What actually has more control over you? Your understanding or your desire? Because in the moment of decision, that's what decides everything. There's another layer to this. Sometimes we don't just fail to act on truth, we actively avoid it. We distract ourselves, we justify, we delay, because deep down we know if we fully accept the truth, something will have to change. And change is costly. It demands effort, sacrifice, discomfort. So instead we stay in the gap, knowing but not doing. And the longer you stay there, the more it shapes you. Because every time you act against what you know, you reinforce the divide. You become someone who understands but doesn't act, sees but doesn't move, knows but doesn't change. That's not just failure, that's fragmentation. So now the question narrows a bit. If knowledge isn't enough and willpower isn't reliable, then what actually bridges the gap? There's a moment in the scriptures that raises the stakes completely. A command that sounds simple at first but becomes overwhelming the more you think about it. Christ says, "Be ye therefore perfect." Not try your best, not improve gradually, perfect. Now place that next to everything we've just explored. You already struggle to live up to what you know, and now the standard isn't just better, it's perfection. This exposes the gap completely, because now it's not just I know more than I do, it's I can clearly see what I'm supposed to be, and I'm nowhere near it. At this point, people usually go one of three ways. They lower the standard, they ignore it, or they feel crushed by it. Because if knowledge couldn't fix the gap before, it definitely won't now. So why give a commandment like that? Why set a standard that seems impossible? Because it reveals the real problem. The problem isn't behavior, it's not lack of information. It's not even a lack of discipline. It's that the person acting is not yet the person who would choose differently. You don't consistently act against your nature. You act from it. So if your nature stays the same, the gap will stay the same. This is why the solution isn't just try harder, because trying harder doesn't change what you desire. It doesn't change what you love. And that's the core issue. You don't act based on what you know, you act based on what you love. So the real question isn't, what do I know? It's what do I want? Because whatever you truly want, that's what you'll move towards, even if it contradicts everything you understand. This is where the idea of transformation comes in. Not surface level change, not behavior management, but something deeper, a change in identity, a change in desire, a change in what actually drives you. Because if your desires change, your actions follow. Now think back to Odysseus tied to the mast. He needed external restraint because internally he wasn't strong enough. But imagine something different. Imagine if the song lost its power over him. If he heard it and simply didn't want it anymore. That's a different kind of freedom. Not restraint, not resistance. Transformation. That's the only real way the gap closes. Not by knowing more, not by forcing yourself harder, but by becoming someone different. Because at the end of the day, the problem isn't that you don't know the truth. You do. The problem is that something in you doesn't want to live it. And until that changes, the gap will remain. So the question isn't what do you know, it's who are you becoming?